Golden Retrievers are the type of dogs that walk into your life and somehow melt every problem you ever had. They're sweet, they're gentle, they're kind, and when they smile, yes, they actually smile, your whole heart melts. And that's exactly why what I'm about to tell you is so heartbreaking. There are things about this breed that many breeders avoid talking about because it could hurt their business. And honestly, these truths are the kind of things you deserve to know if you love Goldens or plan to get one. Today, we're diving deep into 20 brutal truths about Golden Retriever cancer that breeders don't tell you. Not because they want to protect you, but because they want to protect their sales. But here, we're not hiding anything. We're talking openly, honestly, and with full transparency. Because Golden Retrievers deserve that level of honesty. And so do you. Brutal truth number 1. Golden Retrievers have one of the highest cancer rates among all dog breeds. Here's the truth that hits the hardest. Golden Retrievers have an extremely high chance of developing cancer during their lifetime. The exact percentage can vary depending on the study, but the overall trend is alarming. Cancer is far more common in Goldens than in many other dog breeds. Now imagine spending years loving a dog that becomes your emotional support, your best friend, your walking buddy, your cuddle partner, your stress reliever, only to find out that they've developed an aggressive cancer you didn't even know they were at risk for. Owners feel blindsided. They feel betrayed. They feel helpless. And the saddest part is that many of them had no idea this was coming, because breeders rarely make this part clear. Why? Because telling people this breed gets cancer a lot doesn't help sell puppies. It scares buyers away. So instead, breeders talk about intelligence, friendliness, beauty, the coat, the temperament, all the lovely things. Meanwhile, the biggest danger of all is kept quiet. And this silence doesn't protect you. It just leaves you unprepared. Brutal truth. Number 2. Goldens didn't always have this problem. Breeding practices made it worse. Golden Retrievers used to be healthier decades ago. Their cancer risk has sharply increased over generations, and one of the biggest reasons is breeding practices. Breeders, in an attempt to maintain a consistent golden look, repeatedly used the same bloodlines. Over time, this reduced the genetic diversity within the breed. When the gene pool shrinks, harmful traits, like a higher risk of certain cancers, become more common. It's not that breeders set out to harm the breed. It's that looks and show-quality traits became the priority over health. People wanted Goldens that were fluffy, calm, friendly, and beautiful. So breeders delivered. But in doing so, they unintentionally created a bottleneck, meaning too many dogs shared too many of the same genes. And once cancer-related genes circulated within this smaller gene pool, they became unavoidable. And here's another problem. Not all breeders test for genetic history. They may know a dog's appearance, bloodline, and personality, but may not dig deep into the health history of previous generations. Why? Because health testing costs time and money, and if someone can sell a puppy without doing it, many simply do. This is why the cancer risk grew. Not overnight, but quietly, generation after generation. Brutal truth. Number 3. Goldens are prone to aggressive cancers that often show no warning signs. This might be the hardest truth to accept. Some of the cancers that Golden Retrievers are prone to are fast, silent, and extremely aggressive. They can look perfectly fine one day, happy tail, bright eyes, eating well, and then collapse suddenly the next. That's how certain cancers in Goldens behave. For example, many Goldens are vulnerable to cancers that grow quietly inside the body without obvious symptoms. They don't always show pain. They don't always show weakness early on. Goldens are emotional pleasers. They don't want you to worry, so they hide their discomfort. They push through it with a wagging tail, as if nothing is wrong. Owners often don't realize something serious is happening until it's too late. And when they rush to the vet, they're hit with news they never imagined hearing. Many cancers in Goldens spread quickly and are difficult to treat. This suddenness leaves owners shocked and heartbroken. If breeders admitted how common and aggressive these cancers are, potential owners would walk away. So the silence continues. And many families learn this truth the hard way, once they're already deeply attached. Brutal truth number 4. Breeders rarely talk about how early Goldens are now dying years ago. Golden Retrievers could easily live into their teens. It wasn't unusual for a Golden to live 12, 13, even 14 years. Today, many owners are heartbroken to lose their dogs before the age of 10, sometimes even earlier. Cancer has shortened their average lifespan significantly. But instead of mentioning this, many breeders distract buyers with adorable puppy videos, health guarantees that don't cover genetic illnesses, or claims like parents are healthy. Healthy for now isn't the same as healthy genetics. Even with great food, exercise, love, vaccinations, and proper care, some Goldens still develop cancer young simply because it's deeply embedded in their genetics. And this is the part breeders often leave out. Imagine someone adopting a Golden, expecting over a decade of companionship. Then imagine losing that dog at 6 or 7 years old. The emotional damage of that loss is huge. Goldens aren't just pets. They're family members with big hearts, big personalities, and big love. Losing them young is devastating, which is why this truth should be openly discussed, not hidden behind cute pictures and fluffy marketing. Brutal truth number 5. Many breeders focus on appearance over health. This is one of the most uncomfortable truths. In many breeding environments, appearance sells more than health. People want the perfect Golden. The fluffy coat, the beautiful color, the calm temperament, the big soft eyes. And breeders who can produce dogs that meet this ideal can sell puppies faster and at higher prices. But breeding for looks can come at a cost. When appearance becomes the main focus, health takes a back seat. Breeders may choose parents based on coat color or body shape rather than genetic strength or health history. Some breeders even pick pairs because they produce popular colors, like cream or dark gold, without fully examining whether these dogs come from lines with cancer history. And here's the hidden issue. Cancer doesn't always show up in the parents. A breeder might say, the parents are healthy, but that doesn't mean the grandparents, great-grandparents, or siblings of those parents were free of cancer. Genetic risk hides. It can skip a generation or appear suddenly. Breeders focusing on what the dog looks like, rather than what the dog carries genetically, end up passing on hidden risks. This truth is rarely discussed because looks attract buyers. Health doesn't always show instantly. And that delay benefits breeders, not owners. Brutal truth. Number 6. The emotional and financial cost of cancer is huge, and almost never mentioned. This is the truth that breeders really avoid discussing. Dealing with cancer in a Golden Retriever is emotionally painful, financially draining, and incredibly stressful. And most owners never see it coming. Treatment costs can climb quickly. Diagnostic tests like ultrasounds, biopsies, blood work, and CT scans are expensive. Chemotherapy or specialized treatments cost even more. And many times, owners are told that treatment might extend their dog's life, but not cure them. Beyond the money is the emotional weight. You watch your happy, loving dog go through treatments, lose energy, or suffer discomfort. Some dogs respond well, but many don't. The emotional pain of making hard decisions no pet owner wants to face, is overwhelming. Yet this reality is rarely discussed by breeders. They don't warn you that a breed with such a high cancer risk can put you through some of the hardest emotional moments of your life. Imagine knowing the truth before you adopt. You'd be prepared, mentally and emotionally. You'd research. You'd ask questions. You'd look for responsible breeders who prioritize health. But without this knowledge, owners enter blindly, unprepared for the possibility of heartbreak. Brutal truth number 7. Breeders rarely track their puppies' long-term health, so problems get repeated over and over. One of the most heartbreaking realities about Golden Retriever cancer is that so much of it could be prevented if only breeders took long-term health tracking seriously. But here's the brutal truth you won't hear at a cute puppy adoption table. Most breeders have no idea what happens to their puppies after they leave their care. They might send you home with a folder of basic information and a photo of the parents. But once the sale is done, the communication dries up. Months pass, years pass, and those breeders have no clue if the puppies they sold developed health problems later. They don't know if cancer showed up early. They don't know if multiple dogs from the same genetic pairing got sick. They don't know if their breeding decisions created heartbreak for families. And because they don't know, they don't change anything. Many breeders operate in a cycle. Pair dogs, produce a litter, sell puppies, repeat. And while that cycle keeps the business running, it also keeps dangerous genetics running. When owners lose their Golden to cancer, many are too devastated or too busy grieving to go back to the breeder and report what happened. And let's be honest, some owners don't want to relive the trauma by talking about it, and others don't want conflict. So breeders remain blissfully unaware. Or worse, they purposely don't look too deeply into the health outcomes because it's easier not to know. If they knew that a certain pair of dogs consistently produced cancer-prone offspring, ethically, they would need to stop breeding that pair. But stopping a breeding pair means losing money. It means fewer puppies to sell, and many breeders simply don't want to confront that reality. This lack of follow-up is one of the biggest reasons cancer keeps circulating through the breed. It's not that every breeder is uncaring. It's that the system encourages avoidance, and the dogs pay the price. Brutal truth number 8. Marketing tricks are used to distract you from the cancer risk. When breeders talk to you about golden retrievers, they rarely start with health warnings. Instead, they lean into something that's much more appealing: marketing. They talk about champion bloodlines, beautiful coats, excellent temperament, and premium lineage. They make everything sound perfect. They show you videos of puppies rolling around happily. They tell you about how loving and calm the parents are. They use words that create an emotional picture of the ideal family dog. And of course, golden retrievers really are incredible dogs. But that doesn't erase the risks hiding in their genetics. The painful truth is that all those fancy, comforting words are used to distract you, because talking openly about cancer risk scares customers away. If a breeder said, "This breed has one of the highest cancer rates in the dog world," a lot of people would hesitate before pulling out their wallet. So instead of giving you the full truth, breeders selectively share the good parts. They shine a bright spotlight on beauty, behavior, and pedigree, while leaving the health risks in the shadows. Some breeders even emphasize physical traits like coat color, body shape, or show quality, without ever mentioning whether the parents came from cancer-free lines. They'll say, "The parents are healthy," as if that magically means the puppies will be too. But genetics don't work like that. A healthy-looking parent can still carry dangerous genes. A beautiful coat can still come from a cancer-prone bloodline. A puppy can look perfect on the outside and still be vulnerable on the inside. And that's exactly why marketing is such a powerful smokescreen. It hides the truth in plain sight. Breeders know that most buyers get swept up in emotions when they see a cute puppy, and emotions make people ignore red flags. Brutal truth. Number 9. Environmental triggers make cancer worse, but nobody warns owners about them. Here's another truth that breeders almost never talk about. Even if genetics are part of the problem, the environment makes things much worse. Cancer doesn't come from one single cause. It's a combination of genes and triggers. And unfortunately, golden retrievers are sensitive to many things in the environment that can ignite those genetic weaknesses. But most owners are never warned about this. Breeders rarely hand out guides about safe food, safe cleaning products, safe flea treatments, or safe lawn chemicals. They don't explain that Goldens are extra vulnerable to toxins, preservatives, and even processed treats. They don't explain that cheap food can create inflammation in the body, and inflammation increases the risk of cancer. They don't explain that overusing certain medications or exposing your dog to pesticides can quietly damage the immune system. So owners, who assume their Golden is just like any other dog, unknowingly use products that put their dog at risk. They spray cleaning chemicals on floors. They use lawn fertilizers without thinking. They buy grocery store dog food full of artificial preservatives because it's affordable. They give their dog brightly colored treats without realizing those dyes and additives aren't good for them. And when they take their dog to the vet later, they never suspect that the everyday environment played a role. Breeders could warn people about this. They could educate families. They could provide guidance, but most don't, because it takes time and effort. And because admitting environmental risks forces breeders to acknowledge the genetic risks too. And that's something many would rather avoid. Brutal truth. Number 10. Golden retrievers hide pain so cancer symptoms get missed. Until it's too late, Goldens have an incredible heart. They are emotionally strong. They don't want you to worry. They don't want you to feel sad. So they hide pain, sometimes so well that owners don't notice anything is wrong until the cancer is already advanced. And this is one of the saddest truths of all. Many owners say that their Golden was acting normal just days before a diagnosis. The dog was eating well, playing normally, even wagging its tail like always. But what owners don't understand is that Golden retrievers are masters at hiding discomfort. Their instinct is to push through pain. They don't whine often. They don't complain. They don't show weakness easily. They want to be strong for their family. So when early symptoms begin, small changes, subtle fatigue, slight appetite changes when people think, "Oh, he's just tired," or "she's just getting older." They don't know these can be early signs of something serious. Breeders could teach new owners what to look for. They could say, "Watch for unusual swelling," or "Be alert if your dog gets tired more easily." They could share knowledge that saves lives, but they rarely do. By the time most Golden owners take their dog to the vet, the cancer is often advanced, and treatment becomes difficult or even impossible. And owners feel blindsided, almost betrayed, because they never knew what to look for. They never knew how sneaky cancer in Goldens can be. Brutal truth. Number 11. Popular coat colors are sometimes chosen over healthier genetics. This is the truth nobody expects. Dog breeding is influenced by trends. Yes, actual trends, like fashion trends. People go through phases where they prefer light cream Goldens or rich dark gold Goldens, depending on what looks cute or rare. And because certain colors are more popular, breeders start focusing heavily on producing those colors. But when color becomes the priority, health often gets pushed aside. Imagine a breeder has one dog with a beautiful cream coat that everyone wants. But that dog comes from a bloodline where several relatives developed cancer. And imagine that another dog has amazing genetics, but is a shade of gold that isn't in high demand. Which dog do you think the breeder chooses to breed? Sadly, many go with the popular color, and that decision affects generations. Breeding based on appearance shrinks the gene pool even more. When everyone is chasing the same attractive shade, they all start breeding dogs with similar genes. And those similar genes can include the same cancer-prone markers, so the problem compounds over time. This issue is not widely talked about because it reveals something uncomfortable. Humans have shaped this breed based on looks, not health. And the dogs suffer because of human vanity. Brutal truth. Number 12. Finding a truly responsible breeder is extremely hard. And that's a problem for everyone. The last brutal truth is not an attack on all breeders. There are responsible breeders out there. Breeders who health test, breeders who track, breeders who prioritize genetic diversity, breeders who care deeply. But those breeders are the minority, and finding them is like searching for a needle in a haystack. Most breeders do the bare minimum. Some follow just the surface-level guidelines, like basic vet checkups that don't reveal genetic risks. Others cut corners because they know buyers don't ask deeper questions. They know most people walk in with their hearts already melted by adorable puppies and aren't thinking about things like genetic markers or cancer rates. Because of this, careless breeders continue to thrive, while responsible breeders struggle because they take their time, limit litters, and put health first. And that leaves owners in a tough position. They think they're getting a healthy puppy from a reputable breeder because the breeder smiled, looked friendly, and said all the right things. But behind that friendly handshake, there may be years of irresponsible breeding choices buried under the surface. This truth is painful because it means families are unknowingly stepping into a minefield. They're choosing a puppy with love, but without information. And the heartbreak that may come years later could have been avoided if honesty had been part of the process. Brutal truth. Number 13. Most vets don't warn Golden owners early enough because they don't want to scare you. Many veterinarians genuinely care, but they also know that scaring owners at the first puppy visit can cause panic, distrust, and emotional overload. So they don't tell you the whole truth right away. They keep things general. Golden retrievers can be prone to certain health issues, which is the softest possible way of saying, this breed has one of the highest cancer rates of any dog you can own. Instead of preparing owners early, many vets wait until symptoms start to show. But by then, precious time has already been lost. Early honest education could save lives. Owners could be trained to notice subtle symptoms. They could understand what to watch for. But because most vets try to stay positive, essential warnings come too late. And you end up learning about cancer when you're already standing in the exam room, staring at an X-ray or ultrasound with a lump in your throat. Brutal truth. Number 14. People treat Golden retrievers like easy dogs, which makes their health problems. Easy to overlook Golden retrievers are often marketed as low maintenance and perfect for first-time dog owners. They're gentle, loyal, eager to please. The ideal family pet. But that reputation creates a dangerous assumption. People think Golden retrievers don't require extra attention or advanced health care. This mindset is dangerous because Goldens are actually one of the most medically vulnerable breeds. Owners who see Goldens as easy dogs are slower to notice changes. They don't schedule checkups as often. They assume everything is fine because the dog is still wagging, still greeting them at the door, still lying at their feet with that signature Golden smile. But that smile hides suffering. Goldens will keep loving you even when something is wrong inside their body. Taking their sweetness for granted has cost many dogs their early chance at diagnosis. Brutal truth number 15. Goldens have faster tumor growth than many other breeds, making early intervention critical. This truth is rarely spoken. Even in veterinary offices, Golden retrievers often experience fast-growing tumors, especially with aggressive cancers like hemangiosarcoma or lymphoma. These cancers don't creep in slowly, they explode. One week your dog seems fine, and the next week you're sitting in the vet's office facing an emergency. Golden owners are frequently blindsided by how quickly things change. The breed's biology contributes to this speed. Their immune systems tend to react differently to cellular damage, and their genetics play a role in rapid tumor progression. This means that skipping a yearly checkup or ignoring a small symptom isn't harmless. It can mean losing the window for treatment. Early testing is life-saving, but most owners don't learn this until it's too late. Brutal truth number 16. Even healthy-looking Goldens can carry silent genetic risks. That no test can fully detect genetic testing has improved, but it's not a magic wand. Even if a breeder shows you test results and says the parents are clear or healthy, that doesn't mean cancer risk disappears. Golden Retriever cancer is incredibly complex. Multiple genes interact with environmental factors in ways science has not fully mapped. A dog can appear outwardly perfect, strong, energetic, glowing coat, yet internally have vulnerabilities that tests can't see. This is one of the most cruel aspects of this disease. There is no visible warning. You can do everything right and still face the storm. That doesn't mean owners are helpless, but it means trusting genetics alone is dangerous. Health goes deeper than DNA tests can reveal. Brutal truth. Number 17. Too many owners believe it won't happen to mine until it does. Humans cope with fear by distancing themselves from it. Nobody wants to imagine their sweet puppy suffering from cancer. So they tell themselves, not my dog. They convince themselves they'll be the exception. That belief leads to complacency. They delay health checks. They ignore small signs. They assume youth equals safety. But cancer in Golden Retrievers doesn't wait for old age. It can appear shockingly early. The belief that it won't happen to mine has caused countless cases to be detected far too late. The painful truth is that every Golden owner should operate with awareness. Not fear, but awareness. Pretending the risk doesn't exist doesn't offer protection. Knowledge does. Brutal truth number 18. Some breeders prioritize quantity over quality, and puppies pay the price. Breeding Golden Retrievers is extremely profitable. Litters sell quickly, often with waiting lists. But high demand attracts people who breed for money, not for the breed's long-term health. They pair dogs without proper genetic testing. They produce litter after litter without tracking health outcomes. They breed young females too early or older dogs past their ideal age. They don't retire dogs from breeding even after health concerns show up. The result is puppies born into bloodlines where cancer risk is already high. These breeders rarely talk about lineage health history because they don't have one. They don't track siblings, ancestors, or previous litters. And when things go wrong, they disappear. Meanwhile, families are left heartbroken, and the cycle continues. Brutal truth number 19. Early symptoms look like normal behavior changes. So owners miss the warning signs. Golden Retriever cancer doesn't always present with dramatic symptoms. Sometimes the earliest clues are tiny, so tiny that owners dismiss them. A dog that sleeps a little more or plays a little less. A Golden that hesitates before jumping into the car. A slight decrease in appetite, a moment where the dog looks tired during a walk. Most people think these changes are normal aging or temporary mood shifts. But early cancer symptoms often masquerade as harmless variations in behavior. By the time more obvious symptoms appear, swelling, collapse, weight loss, severe lethargy, the cancer has already advanced. If owners understood how subtle early signs can be, many dogs could receive treatment sooner. But because the signs blend into everyday life, they pass unnoticed until it is too late. Brutal truth. Number 20. Love alone isn't enough. Golden Retrievers need proactive health care to stand a chance. Golden Retrievers give everything to their families. Their love is pure, unconditional, and limitless. But that love alone cannot protect them from cancer. They need more than affection. They need proactive health care, vigilant observation, and a plan. Owners must be willing to schedule checkups even when the dog looks fine. They must pay attention to changes, however small. They must choose nutritious food, limit exposure to harmful chemicals, and advocate strongly for their dog at the vet. Golden Retrievers will never ask for this kind of care. They'll just keep wagging their tail, hoping you'll stay happy. It's the owner's responsibility to fight for them, to protect them, and to give them the best possible chance at a long life. Love is the foundation, but action is the shield. So if this video opened your eyes, If it made you think about your dog differently, if it gave you that push to be more proactive, then please help us spread this message. Hit the like button so this information reaches more golden owners who might still be in the dark. And if you want to stay educated, if you want to learn how to protect your dog, prevent the risks, spot early warning signs, and hear more truths that many people still avoid, then make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. We have so much more to share, and every video could be the one that saves a life.